Welcome back to the Cherry Pickin Fantasy Hockey Podcast. Today, I have 3 must-have players for your fantasy hockey teams. To kick things off, I'm going to start with Anton Lander of the Florida Panthers, 26% rostered. Obviously, he's been in the news lately. Last game, he had 5 assists, which is just wild. First rookie to do so. Lundell, I've been keeping an eye on him for the last 2 weeks. He's someone that I really wanted to pick for the show. The issue always was that he's on the third line and Florida is just stacked with talent. He's not going to be a power play guy. So I've come to the conclusion that he can still be valuable for your fantasy hockey team. He's a very good 5-on-5 player. He's plus 26 this year, which just tells you obviously that he's been fantastic 5-on-5. His line on the third line, whatever. He's on the third line. Well, the Panthers are just a really good hockey team. They average 4.1 goals a game. That ties him for the lead in the NHL. I'd ride this hot wave. He could slow down. I could see the production going down a little bit, but I think Lundell can be a solid asset to your fantasy hockey team. Next up, I didn't think I'd be talking about this player this year, but this is Dylan Strome, 18% rostered. Obviously, he's been a huge disappointment after getting drafted by the Coyotes, going over to Chicago for a new opportunity. He's getting first-line minutes with the Blackhawks, which is nice to see. The biggest surprise here is him in the face-off dot, 55.8 win percentage compared to Kirby Dach, who's obviously fighting for that first-line spot at 33.6%. So obviously Dylan Strome is going to get important face-offs. It's probably the reason why he's on line 1. He's also been playing on the power play a lot as of lately. 7 out of his 18 points have come from the power play. So he's been pretty solid on the power play. I see him sticking on that power play. Anytime you get to play with a generational talent like Patrick Kane, you're bound for some points. So Dylan Strome, I think that you should definitely keep an eye on him in 12-mans, 14, 16-man. I'd pull the trigger and add him. Lastly, I want to talk about Peyton Krebs, who's 2% rostered right now from the Buffalo Sabres. Obviously, he was a huge piece in the Jack Eichel trade, and he is finally getting an opportunity to play for the Sabres on that first line and power play 1. In the last 4 games, it seems like the Sabres have decided that they were going to commit more to Krebs. We've seen an increase in his ice time. He's got 4 points in his last 4 games. He's playing alongside ex-Golden Knight Alex Tuch, which is nice to see. A rookie who's getting power play opportunities is like extremely valuable in fantasy hockey, I think. We've seen what Boldy has done with the Minnesota Wild. Peyton Krebs has an opportunity to really up his game in the next coming games, which will be good for him and good for your fantasy hockey teams. I'm only picking him up in a 14 or 16-man. In a 12-man, keep a good eye on him, because if in the next 3 games or after this All-Star break he starts to really up his game, I'd definitely go pick up Peyton Krebs. As always, Manscaped, our sponsor. Use code BOX. We'll get you free shipping and 20% off. Thanks for watching again. Go check out OwnersBox, enter our NHL contest, and use NHL10 for a free entry.